Yes, so I used to travel by bus in the morning. So that bus used to come in the morning from my office side to my residence. Towards my residence, I stayed next to the airport. So the conductor started knowing me after 5 6 days, and he used to wait for me if I used to be late or if I'm looking this side or that side. And in the evening, he used to pick me up at 5:15. So by 6:10, I was in my office area. So I had 20 minutes to sit and check my logins and all and see my work schedule. I used to check my files and all and get ready. So traveling in the morning in the bus, this I saw this lady. No, she was a boss type inside the bus. Everyone talking to her. She had a very simple mobile. She didn't have this upgraded or Android mobile, but she was well dressed, and she used to sit in the front. So after 5 6 days, one day I got up. I said, "Morning, Didi," and she said, "Why are you calling me Didi? You look quite young. I am also young. Why call me Didi? Just say good morning. That's all." I like that attitude. It was marvelous, fantastic. So one day, again after another week, she kept a seat for me. I got up in the bus. That used to get very jammed up in the morning because the IT section, all guys used to go home. Whatever on that route, people used to stay. So my stoppage was the last area, just before the last area. So mine was the airport area. So she saw me standing, and she said, "Arey, come and sit." So I was hesitating to sit next to her. Respect a lady. He said, "Sit down." She tapped the seat like this. She said, "Sit here." She pulled my bag. I sat down. And we quietly sat down. The ticket conductor didn't used to not ask me for money. He knows that I'm going to pay him money. And we started talking. Suddenly she asked, "What do you do? You look like a police fellow. You look like a bodyguard and all that." I said, "Yes, I was once, and I was all inside this. I was in the forces." So you get up, she knew that you get up from this area, you must be in the IT sector, right? You work in the night. I said, "Yes." I said, "I see you every morning. You also working in the night. Do you go back somewhere?" We speaking in Bengali. So she said, "No, I work in a hotel." I said, "Okay, fine, great." Then I'm trying to recollect. I just looked at her once, then I see her mobile. She uses that small type of Nokia or Samsung, something black and white mobile. She works in a hotel. So I used to know she used to get down at the hotel area only. There's a five-star hotel of the other socialized, the biggest socialites of Kolkata. So they have their hotels there. It's called the Swiss Hotel, SWISSOTEL, Swiss Hotel. It's a five-star. He said, "I work at the Swiss Hotel." I said, "Okay. Wow, great. What do you do?" I just asked, "What do you do? It must be great, isn't it, working there?" He said, "I am the housekeeping of the kitchen." I just went, "Oh." I said, so then she's asking me, "So you don't want to sit next to me, right? After you know where I work." I said, "I'm really proud to be sitting with you. It's great, yeah." I shook hands with her, and she's well dressed and all, but who will say that she's working as a kitchen cleaner? She says, "I only work 2 to 3 hours. There are shifts. So I go clean the kitchen, and the kitchen gets ready because the kitchen is always working. Five-star hotel, it's round the clock." She said, "I've got children, I've got a husband, he's also working, but I do this job, I don't care. I'm getting money, I'm self-dependent, I'm doing it. So what's there? Destiny. Someday she will go somewhere else." I felt so proud to be in that bus sitting next to her. And she's a very powerful woman in the bus. Daily passenger. Very powerful person. Everyone respects her. And you won't believe that day she told the conductor that today put it on my bill. She used to pay them monthly or something, whatever, I don't know. She said, "Don't pay the today because we came to know each other today, sir. I should call you sir or what?" I said, "No, you call me Ronan." or whatever you want to call me. We just know each other, so we are friends, so no problem. Great. Sometimes we used to meet in the morning, sometimes the time used to be, because there are 5-6 buses on that route, the same state buses. So sometimes we used to meet, sometimes the day we used to meet, we used to say hi, hello, we used to talk in the bus only, all together. Then I got to know more people inside the bus. People came to started knowing me also. So I get that cultural effect. There was no bias. But if you walk into a 5-star restaurant with a t-shirt like this or jeans, and you go to a dinner party in a club, they'll look at, who is this guy? They'll start doing that bias, they'll think that, oh, we are rich people, who is this person? Still there in our society, this thing happens. When you go to a marriage party, your mother tells you, dress well, so that people see that you are okay, that we are okay. People look. People judge you by your clothes, they don't judge you with your knowledge. But once you open your mouth, people know you, what you are. Clothes is not the identity of a person. It just helps to cover the body. That's all what it is. It's all here and here. Okay, guys. So, we'll come to this. I'll read a few parts of this book today. So, this is all regarding APJ Abdul Kalam's story, a biography. We must know to read about a person, we must know what are the points that we are going to face in the story. So, we'll be prepared for it, right? That's the way I share my knowledge or attitude while I share something with you, or if I'm explaining something to you. You may like it or you may dislike it, but I do have no options. I'll do my job. It's your duty. Either you listen to it or you don't. I cannot force you. Your mother tells you to eat, you say I won't eat. She tells you 3 times to eat, you don't eat. But she can't force you. She can't take the food and push it down your throat with a stick, isn't it? It's not possible. So if you have the knowledge of gaining, of digesting, you will gain. And I know few guys in class 9, you were in class 8. I know the guys who will want to listen and take it, and they will digest it and they'll give the right thing. So I don't have to go into the book anymore. Only for dates. I am not God, I am not a computer. I am not the name of the 7 billion gods. So I may be forgetting some dates also. But I have given you it doesn't matter in which house I stay. That house is my palace. Even if it has a broken brick, if it has a leaking roof, that is my palace. I keep my head up and stay there. I should be proud of it. I should not envy. There are problems with 2 people in this world. Millionaires and those who want to become millionaires. Rest, no one has got problems. It's a high thought thing. You have to think about it. It's not an easy word. Oh, millionaires and those who want to become millionaires. Great thing he said. Wasted our time. Think about it. Anish, Panda, Bindu and Pranjali, you all can think about this, Aman, you guys are there, you have good brains. Your brains are very cultured and you know things. So just think about it. There are 2 problems. There are 2 human beings with problems. One is a millionaire, he's got a lot of problems. And another person who wants to become the millionaire, he's got more problems. Rest people don't have problems. Okay. So this is all about it. Now, I was born in a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras state. My father, Jainu Labdin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed a great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother. Ashiamma, I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks, born to tall and handsome parents. We lived in our ancestral home, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large pakka house made of limestone and brick on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine, or clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. Okay, so what do you understand by this? I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. Very normal family. Feeding people. Exact number of people fed every day. It's charity. Every book, every holy book, every books, it's written charity. If you do something, you don't have to say it outside. Just do it. I have explained this earlier also in your class. I never knew you had this chapter. I was not supposed to be sharing this. But, destiny, you can't say when, where, what happens. It's like that small example. You wanted to sing. I gave you the chance. You said, not now. We'll sing it later. It never came. In my words, I say chance pe dance. That's a fun thing. When you get the chance, don't leave that chance to dance. Dance it. Even if you shake a leg, if you shake a hand, you shake your fingers, you shake your head, do it. Chance never comes back. Time is very precious. I know Panda understood what I'm saying. Panda, Pranjali, they were all so much enthusiastically engraved in that song, and you guys wanted to sing it for the annual function on the annual day of your school party, which I was also eagerly waiting, but we did not have it this year anyways. But we didn't get a chance to sing it, so I had given you a chance on the 26th of Jan, I guess. And you said, no, not 26th of Jan, I had given you a chance or something else, I don't remember. Anyways, so, undistinguished looks. He was not smart looking, but his parents were tall, handsome parents. He was not good looking. It's said if looks could kill, people wouldn't have used a gun. People look like that, they give those looks. The way you look at me, I'll tell you what's in your mind. Sometimes. Looks does not matter. Age is not a factor. For me, age is just a number. I am here, I have to do it. I was born with an inheritance, and I am going to die. When I die, there will be an inheritance. People will talk about when this gap between this life and death, what I did. Not for myself, for others. That's what people will speak. I ate 100 pizzas during my lifespan. Who the hell will talk about me? But if I shared those 100 pizzas with 1,000 people, at least 10 will say, oh yes, this guy had shared his pizza with us. Poor man, he died. If he would have been there, we could have had more pizzas. He had a great heart. He used to share everything. Okay. So this is what takes you through. Small house, Muslim family. Father was not educated, did not have too much of money. But despite these disadvantages, his father had that inborn wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. The true generosity of spirit is what? If anyone used to come to the house, okay, eat and go. Whatever is there, eat and go. House was not so much up to the mark, but his simple father used to avoid all inessential comforts. When my father was there, I was not there always to complain because I was always in Sherwood. I used to always complain for an AC, my friends, some few friends used to have AC, this thing and all, AC cars and all. And my father had a simple Mahindra Jeep and a station wagon car, red, both were red. They were so red, like the post office red, that wherever, even if I used to go out, people used to tell my father, oh, your car was here, that means your son was there. Very dangerous type of car it was. Everyone knew Father Pradhan's car. Father's car, oh my God. Oh my God, now what is going to happen? I'll come back in the next video.